Guys, Revolver Wrestler here, your YouTube wrestling reviewer, heavyweight champion, and today, again, I'm not going to be reviewing wrestling, so I'm going to put the belt down and we're going to move on to this, my Avengers shirt, because today I went to watch Avengers Infinity War for the third time. Now, firstly, let me tell you a little story. I went to watch Infinity War today, I came home, I lied in bed because I am feeling very ill. You can tell my voice is a bit off. If I do sniffle, I do apologise. It's just very bad cold or something like that. But anyway, I got home and I immediately watched Captain America Civil War on Blu-ray, because to me, that is the peak of the MCU so far. I don't think any movies have had the stakes. I don't think every movie's been quite as gripping as Civil War, which I actually have right here on Blu-ray. And I watched it really to see which one I preferred. And I think it's better off to do that just immediately after one another. Now, it'd probably be better to watch Civil War first, considering it is before Infinity War, but I digress. After finishing Civil War, I can clearly say I think that Infinity War is the pinnacle of the Marvel Cinematic Universe so far. So in this video, I just want to get quickly, I'm going to be talking about my thoughts on my second and third viewings of Infinity War. There will be spoilers. I will put that in the title of the video. So without further ado, spoiler alert, we're going into spoilers. Okay, so Infinity War on my second and third viewings to me was more focusing on like the actual filmmaking aspects. So like the editing, the cinematography and that sort of thing. Especially my second viewing. Like today, I just sort of enjoyed Infinity War a little bit more. And I feel like today was probably my favourite viewing. I had a better seat. I just sat there and was a bit tired, but it did wake me up, to be fair. But my second viewing was the one where I properly focused on the filmmaking aspects of Infinity War. Now, the casting and stuff, that's all great. We all know that's great. It's just one of the best ensemble casts I think you'll ever find. And I have to do a little apology to Elizabeth Olsen, because I kept calling her Emily Olsen in my previous video on Infinity War. I apologise to her. She may see this video one day. Elizabeth Olsen, she's a beautiful woman. She's a talented young actress, and in this movie, she was fantastic. She lit up the room every time she was there. She was a powerful badass who you just never thought needed saving, and I just love how, honestly, Scarlet Witch. Wanda Maximoff is one of the most powerful Avengers. Vision is obviously a proper powerhouse, but I think that in Infinity War he was a little bit of a bitch, to be honest. You have obviously Tony and Cap and Thor and Hulk, but Scarlet Witch Maximoff is right up there, and I think she was superb in the film. Again, like just looking at everybody, obviously I think Cumberbatch was a great casting choice in Doctor Strange. Here, he's a little funnier here. And with Wong at the beginning of the film, I didn't really give Wong a shout out in my previous video either. Wong was really great here too. There's just great camaraderie, and it's just one of those things I think every MCU movie gets right. But I think that this one, because of how large this cast was, and because of how important the situation was, and yes, sometimes there were moments where the levity and the seriousness of the moment wasn't quite translated to the actual script, and I think that that's sometimes kind of annoyed me, but it just overcame it, because I think that sometimes when it tried that humour, it never seems to fail. Even on my third viewing, I kept laughing at some great lines. I thought that Thor was Chris Hemsworth was the funniest he has ever been in this film. He blew me away. His stuff with Groot and Rocket, Nina Valia, with dwarf Peter Dinklage, what was his name, E-Tree, was exceptional. The other great comedy was obviously Tony Stark, who is just at this point excellent. I like, again, Hulk's little, he can't become Bruce Banner, Mark Ruffalo, who he can't become the Hulk. That's nice little funny story that paid off in the end, as he beat Obsidian, the kind of brutish member of the Children of Thanos, in the suit without the Hulk, and that was like a cool little payoff to a story they told throughout the whole film. So yeah, basically the ensemble cast was all spot on, and that's I think Infinity War to me, and the reason I've gone to watch it 3 times, and I'm definitely going to go watch it again, and it's not just to get the posters. I only have 2 posters at the minute. I am going to go again, I think, on May 5th, because I need to get the Captain America poster. Cap is my favourite MCU hero. He's my favourite Marvel hero, full stop. The first superhero shirt I ever owned was a Captain America shirt. I have a pop vinyl of Captain America. I have just today ordered the Infinity War bearded Captain America pop vinyl. I can't wait to get that tomorrow. I'm going to talk about some pop vinyl I've got here actually quickly in a second. But I think Infinity War to me, the one thing that I think it is, and I can say this now, one of my favourite films. Like, it has just grabbed me in such a way, and it just uplifted my expectations. You do have expectations for a Marvel movie because of the budget. You know, this movie's budget was between 300 and 400 million, and at the minute it is, you know, it's made that back. By the time this video goes out, it should probably have doubled it. And I think that, you know, those expectations are always so high, and I went into this movie knowing that, you know, I'd seen reviews, I had read spoilers though. The reviews were very high, and I was like, yeah, it's what I expected. But to me, I think that Civil War, I never thought Civil War could be topped. I thought that Civil War was the closest they would ever get to perfection. And when I watched Infinity War, I was just so proud of what the Russo brothers, of what Joss Whedon, of all the cast, of the cinematographers and the editors, who had just brought together just such a special little movie. And I think it's one of those films that is never going to get the credit it deserves because it's a Marvel film. It's never going to win an Oscar or anything. Should it win an Oscar, I think the cast is too big for it to win like a casting Oscar. But maybe like Best Ensemble Cast, that is an Oscar. So you could give it to this film based on the talent, as we said. Downey Jr., Evans, Hemsworth, Pratt, Cumberbatch, Olsen, Scarlett Johansson. I can't remember Vision's name, I'm so sorry. Sebastian Stan as Winter Soldier, I thought was good for the time he had. Chadwick Boseman, I thought was one of the best casting choices for a main hero I have seen. I think that Chadwick Boseman kills it as Black Panther every time. When I watched the film Black Panther, I thought the best part about it was Chadwick Boseman. He is insanely good in his role, and he's such a talent at such a young age. And I think that's the thing as well. My expectations for this movie were high, but I think that I was in kind of a lull, because I felt that Marvel had played it too safe with their last couple of films. I thought that Doctor Strange was definitely a well-edited, well-directed film. I can't remember who directed it, I'm so sorry. I thought that Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 was a very funny, I didn't think it was good as the first one, but I thought it was a very funny, good standalone film to a different series. Like, you could honestly just watch the Guardians duet, the Guardians couple, we'll say, and you could just watch those and enjoy those. Although the villain, I thought, was really weak. And James Gunn, I do think, did an excellent job directing that film. And talking about direction, again, back to Black Panther, this is a movie that, like Black Panther's a movie that, to me, I'm so in. I need to watch it again. I think, to go and watch Black Panther again. I only watched it the once, and I just came out of it a little bit sad. But Ryan Coogler, his directing was superb. I thought that for such a young guy who had directed, you know, Creed, which was obviously an excellent movie, and, you know, an excellently shot movie as well. But for such a young guy to have such a great resume in Creed and Creed 2, I believe, he's directing that, although that isn't even a thing. So I don't know where that came from. I think it's because I saw a trailer for Creed 2 and it was like a fake trailer. I have no idea. I have no idea where that came from. Sorry. But yeah, Ryan Coogler, at such a young age, Creed and Black Panther, 2 successful films, very, very high critically acclaimed. And I'm sure he'll get a huge... And he got I believe he got a Oscar nod for Creed. So... But yeah, I just think that I'd kind of been in a lull with those films because I thought they played it too safe. Black Panther, Doctor Strange, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. I thought that none of those films had consequences for the rest of the universe. I think the only films that, honestly, in the broader universe, have proper consequences are the Avengers films. And Captain America Civil War. Which is why if you ask me what are my favourite MCU films, I would probably say, Infinity War, Civil War, Avengers 1, and maybe Age of Ultron. I think Age of Ultron's actually slightly underrated. I think it doesn't actually get the credit it deserves. Ultron as a villain I thought was fantastic. But I should really move on and just talk about like what was actually great in my second and third viewing of Infinity War. There's some of the cinematography. There's an excellent camera shot very early on in the film where Stark leaves the temple, the Mystics Temple, where Strange and Wong are, and it's like an uninterrupted, like maybe 2 minute camera shot of him walking down the road, helping people up, and looking at all the carnage in New York City. And it just caught me like so perfectly, and I just wanted to like stand up and clap and just say like, what an expertly well done camera shot. There's another great camera shot towards the end of the film where before the Battle for Wakanda, and I think I may have mentioned this in my other video, I apologise if I did, but it's where Cap and Black Panther are running ahead of everyone else, and it's a great camera shot, and the camera like pans out to show how fast they're actually running, and they just jump into the Thanos soldiers. Like, it's just so well edited, and the shooting, and again, it is this $400 million budget, but it just captures it. And I've just got to say, like, it's Infinity War is one of those films that has just reinvigorated my love for Marvel. And, like, I went to Comic-Con the other day, so I watched Infinity War for the first time on Thursday, and on the Saturday, I went to Comic-Con. At Comic-Con, I got a Doctor Strange mug. I may as well just show this quickly. I bought a Reinhardt pop vinyl. I know that doesn't relate to Infinity War, I just thought I'd show you. And then the next day, my mum and dad came down with my brother, and my brother bought me a pop vinyl, and he said, pick who you want, and I picked Thanos. Like, that is how much this has reinvigorated my love in Marvel. I could not be more excited about the future of the MCU. And I know the next film is Ant-Man and Wasp, which I think is a very jarring turn. From Infinity War. I don't know how you jump from Infinity War. I don't know how that synapse meets, or where the synapse is between Infinity War and Ant-Man and Wasp. Ant-Man and Wasp, though, should be a great film. I think that, the first Ant-Man was excellently directed. I thought Paul Rudd, to pick a kind of comedic actor to play a very serious kind of role, but to have some comedy in there too, it works very well, especially for the character of Ant-Man, especially when it's Scott Lang, because Hank Pym is a bit more, is a bit more serious, and I think that, again, picking Michael Douglas to be Hank Pym was excellent. It's just, I'm so, like, I keep saying, I'm so proud of Infinity War, but I'm just trying to come up with how excited, and I'm trying to think of, like, other things as well that in my second and third viewing, like, kind of came out of nowhere to me. I think, the fact that Spidey, Peter Parker, and I also noticed this, there's two Peters, there's Peter Quill, Star-Lord, and Peter Parker, Spider-Man, and there's two Steves, there's Steve Rogers, Cap, and there's Stephen Strange. So I just found that kind of weird that they never, Peter Parker and Peter Quill have actually now interacted. And that's another thing that, again, just comes up, like, why I think this movie's script was so perfectly crafted. Iron Man and Cap, and my friend actually, just a minute ago, like, when I saw him about 10 minutes ago, he said to me that he didn't think that Captain America Civil War was consequential. And I said, well, look where we are now. Cap and Iron Man still don't talk. Like, there's still, you can see that obviously some of the guys from those two teams in Civil War have reconciled. Obviously, Sam and Rhodey, Falcon and War Machine, are obviously back on the same page. They're definitely the two of the most friendly people in the film. But the consequences of Civil War are mainly Cap and Iron Man don't talk, and I love that because that's another layer you can add to why Thanos won. If they were talking, if they were on the same page, then look at it like this: this might not have happened. And that is, again, it's just not another layer you can put on the cake of just why I think the script, the actual plot, was so well developed. And I think that, we are going to talk about a lot of these Marvel films for their fantastic editing again and their fantastic production value. But I think this one to me will always hold up because of its plot and the script. Again, just going back to someone like Rhodey, who Rhodey honestly to me has been very bland. Like Rhodey in the first Iron Man was played by a different actor. It wasn't Don Cheadle. Um, in the second one, Don Cheadle came in and he was very good. And then he was okay. And then in the third one, Don Cheadle was there too, and they didn't really do a lot. And I felt like here he got more. He got quite a bit in Civil War as well. He was an important factor in Civil War, but here he just had some lines that were funny. The bowing scene with my Bruce Banner was a great scene. I just thought he as well. I think this movie helped so many people who didn't get a lot. I think that this movie, the only person it hurt was maybe Vision. And Vision, obviously, as I said, I think he was a little bit of a bitch. He lost to Corvus Glaive in their little fight. Corvus Glaive is the Reaper, I believe he's called in the comic. And then, of course, he loses to Corvus Glaive again at Wakanda. And then, of course, he dies, and it's not like it's a very, like, kind of like a sad death, but it's not. It's kind of like a bit pity. Like you don't feel. You feel kind of sorry for him, but not in like not like he's heroic. He just dies. Like he dies like a civilian. Like, and of course, like we've seen Vision in this MCU, universe, and he's one of the most powerful beings in the Avengers, kind of like Scarlet Witch. He in Age of Ultron basically saves everyone, and in Civil War, he's really the tide turner that helps Tony's team take Cap's team. Now, I know there's only 4 members of Cap's team left at that point, but that's not the point. Vision's the deciding factor. So here, it just seemed really off that Vision was kind of pushed in the background. I get that he was supposed to be like the prize, like kind of the damsel in distress, we'll call him, because obviously he has the Infinity Stone, the Mind Stone. But I don't know, I just feel like Vision needed to get more in, especially against Thanos. I think at the end, just give him like a last little kind of heroic scene, but he didn't get that. It's okay though. Because this movie helped other people. It helped Scarlet Witch. It helped flesh her out a little bit. And while I do feel like the relationship between Scarlet Witch and Vision is a little bit forced, because we've only seen them together in one film before this. We saw them obviously in Age of Ultron, but they never really interacted. In Civil War, they were clearly very friendly, but definitely not on the scale we've got to here. And I'm imagining that they could easily answer this and just say, they don't see each other a lot, so they're falling in love easier. Like that does make some sense, so that is okay. But no, to me that's again one of those things. Like I kind of feel like they may have benched the Hulk Black Widow romance, because it gets a very small kind of scene where everyone kind of acknowledges that the two of them being in the same room is awkward. But outside of that, they don't interact for the rest of the film, and they are on the same planet for the whole film. They could interact, there could be scenes there, but they don't do it. And I think that may be because of the backlash that it got from after Age of Ultron, which I didn't mind it. I just thought that I thought honestly Widow would make more sense from what we've seen in the films for Widow to go with Cap. Obviously, Cap has Agent, I can't remember her name, Agent 13. I'm gonna guess that's her name. In Civil War, but I don't know. I just feel like Natasha would be a better fit for Steve Rogers. There's a couple of things that like did stick out to me a little bit more though. I think in my second and third viewings. The absence of Scott and Clint is kind of, it's mentioned and it's given one line of dialogue and then a funny joke, but it kind of seems really silly that those two guys who are Avengers, like, well, Clint is, like, Ant-Man's kind of an Avenger. Like, it seems very silly that those two guys would not be there. Like, it just, I don't know. Like, Ant-Man and Wasp, I'm hoping can kind of tie up some loose ends as to what's going on. We don't need a Hawkeye film. I think Renner's great, but a film around Hawkeye doesn't sound that exciting. To me, he's probably the least exciting member of the Avengers. And one thing that also just popped into my mind, because I said Avengers, that stuck out, was that at the end of the film, and now I'm talking about proper spoilers, guys, plot points. At the end of the film, when all the heroes are erased from time, the ones that are freed, or the ones that survive, are Thor, Banner, Stark, Rogers, Romanov. We're expecting Barton to be. So Banner, Stark, Rogers, Thor, Romanov, and Barton. So that is actually the original Avengers, which to me again kind of like it pulled into my mind again that the last couple of movies had been inconsequential, but then I do remember that these characters aren't actually dead. We're getting Spider-Man Homecoming 2, we're getting another Guardians of the Galaxy in 2020, I believe, but I can't... Guardians of the Galaxy is going to be so much different without Gamora. That's one of those things that did hit me as well. Like, watching Gamora die the first time, honestly, nearly got me to tears. Watching it the second time, still nearly got me. The third time just kind of worried me, like, because I've always really liked Gamora. I think that Gamora's a very interesting character, and I do like that they killed her in this way, because they didn't obviously erase her from time. I'll just say it quickly. Obviously she's thrown off the cliff, so Thanos can get the Soul Stone. I love that story arc, and I think it played out like really, really well on screen. And I think that the chemistry that Zoe Saldana and Josh Brolin had was excellent. But I am going to miss Gamora. Like, of all the heroes that are properly dead, so Vision, Gamora, Loki, who knows if any of the ones erased are actually dead, if I count them on my hand, which in a minute I will check. I think people have said the number of character deaths was 14. Obviously, there's Heimdall at the beginning, Thor's best friend, who I totally forgot in my other video. I apologise, Heimdall. I think there's about 14. But yeah, like, it's kind of... of the three main deaths that occur, I think the Gamora one's the one that's going to hit me the most. Again, I think as well because they pulled quite an emotional scene out of it with Star-Lord, asking Thanos, please don't, like, you didn't do it, tell me you didn't do it. It's just a well-crafted movie. Just such a well-crafted movie. If I count, like, the character deaths, I'm thinking, like, if we just count them, so we'll just do it. We'll just do it. So, Loki, Gamora, Vision, Heimdall. I've got Heimdall. Then we have Bucky Barnes. Oh my god, can I do it? Can I do it? Ah, I've totally already forgot. Sam, Falcon. I've already forgot. Groot, Drax, Mantis, Star-Lord, Strange, Spider-Man. That's 12. I got 12. Am I missing some? Okoye survives, Shuri survives, and Baku survives. I forgot Okoye's name in my previous video. I kept calling her the Michonne girl. She's played by Denai Guerrero, who is the lady who plays Michonne in The Walking Dead. I do apologise to you. Your name's Okoye. But no, I think 12 then. 12 main character deaths. And obviously we have the main Avengers who survive, and Rocket and Nebula, the only two Guardians who survive. At this moment, it also struck me, how is Tony going to get off Titan? Because his suit's gone, there's no ships. Him and Nebula are literally... I mean, he's a great machinist. He's a great creator. So I imagine it's not too hard to make a ship out of the parts he's got. But yeah, him and Nebula are stuck on Titan at the minute. And then, of course, in Wakanda, we don't even have a king. We don't even have a king. Killmonger would love to be there, I think, to take the throne of Wakanda. But no, we obviously have Rogers, the 6 Avengers. We have Rocket. Who else do we have on Wakanda? We obviously don't have Scarlet Witch. That's another one. So that's 13. 13. I've got to be missing one because this 14 number makes sense. But yeah, damn, such a great film. I'm going to go watch it again, just so I can get the posters. The posters are awesome. I definitely want that Captain America poster. And I guess that's been it, guys. I'm sorry that this has kind of been off the book, and kind of, if it's been long and you just want to skip it, I'm hoping this is something you can kind of just put in the background and maybe just listen to. Just to get my impressions of my second and third viewing. I'll go for a fourth viewing. I probably won't do a video on it unless something dramatically changes and I hate the movie or something. But yeah, I should probably I will say that as well. Doing these Avengers videos and just talking into the camera, it has really like reignited my passion in just making videos and putting videos out there. And you know, there's so much I've got to talk about. You know, my pop vinyl collection has definitely expanded quite a lot. My gaming, I'm currently playing God of War. That is an excellent game so far. That honestly, because I'm thinking about Norse gods and Loki and Odin and Thor. Like there's obviously some Norse mythology in that game because it's set in Midgard. So yeah, that's a cool thing too. I can't believe a pop-up has just come up. I'm honestly not in the mood. I'm not in the mood for a pop-up. Get out. But yeah, guys. I guess that's it. Thanks for watching. This has been Roll Russell. I guess I'm gonna put the belt back on. And by the way, this is a cool Avengers shirt. Thank you to my mum and dad for buying me this Avengers shirt. And I hope my dad. It was amazing because I don't think I've ever been this excited after watching a film to go and watch it again. Like, it's just. I'm just gonna hold the belt too. It's just. It is one of my favourite films. Like, I've seen it enough times now to determine whether or not it is one of my favourite films. And it is easily my favourite Marvel film. I think it's easily the pinnacle of the MCU. Is it up there with, like, the Shawshanks and the Casino Royales and the V for Vendettas for me? We'll have to see. But, this film may in some way get a tattoo somewhere on my body. But anyway, guys, thanks for watching. This has been Roll Rosslot, your Marvel Avengers Infinity War reviewing heavyweight champion, I suppose. Like, comment, subscribe for more. Tell me your thoughts. What did you think to Avengers Infinity War? What did you think to what do you think to my thoughts? Do you think my thoughts are absurd? What did you think to Black Panther? I think that's an interesting one. Which director do you think has done the best with the Marvel films? James Gunn, Ryan Coogler, the Russo brothers? What do you think to Joss Whedon as a part of this huge universe? Who was your favourite character? Which one's death was the most emotional to you? And what do you think where do you think we are going in Infinity War Part 2? Thanks for watching, guys. This has been Revolver Russell.